Let's look at a live demo of Learn21 working with our kiosk to illustrate both what a technician would see and as well the steps that a student would take to swap out their broken device for a working spare. First, we need to look at the status of our LocknCharge towers. We do that by navigating in Learn21 to Admin, Self-Service, then Self-Service Management. Once we open the page, we will see the status of every bay within the towers. Based on what we see here, we know that our high school Tower 1 has 10 bays available, each has a good working spare in them, and is ready to be used. Next, let's move over to the physical towers and kiosk for the device swap. Our towers are located in our library, and we use a Chromebook in managed mode to host the web page for Learn21's kiosk. As you can see, each bay in the tower shows a green light. That indicates that the bay is ready to be used and has a good working available spare. Now that we are at the Learn21 kiosk, let's swap out this damaged student device using the kiosk and towers. To begin with, we need to type in some information about the user. In this case, the student ID or the lunch code. Then we need to type in the device number. For us, this is our asset tag number, which is located on the back of devices. In this case, the number is 6426. Then press continue. It will then have the student choose what the issues are with the device, so that way the tech has a starting point to diagnose. As well, this page will display information on who the user is and what device they currently have. On the next page, students can add additional notes that they want the tech to know about. Now it's time to choose which tower they would like to use. On this page, they will choose one of the towers that they are authorized to use. In our case, only users associated with our high school will see the high school towers. If this was a junior high student, they would only see the junior high towers. So that way districts can make sure towers in each building are only accessible to specific users or grades. We will then get one last confirmation screen that will check to make sure the issues with the device are correct, as well as the student and device information are correct. The kiosk will then give us information needed to access the spare device. It will tell us which tower to use, as well as which bay in the tower is assigned to us, and finally the code to open that bay. We can then move over to the correct tower and type on the keypad the bay number we wish to access. It will then ask us for a bay access code, which was provided on the screen to us. Once we press OK, if the code was correct, it will pop open the bay that was assigned. Students can then remove the spare in the bay, which will be theirs to use until the repairs are complete. Once the spare is removed, they will place their broken device in the bay, plug it in, and then close the bay door. Once the door is shut, the door will lock, the status light will go off, and the bay will be unusable until a tech comes to retrieve the device from the tower. We can now go back into Learn21 and check to see that the tower correctly gave out the device, gave the correct new status for the bay, and as well assigned the broken device to the bay. If we wanted then to swap the device in the bay for a new spare, we could choose Edit and change the asset tag for the bay and the status of the bay to have the bay ready for another user.